Hello everybody, so welcome back to another build video. Today I want to take a look at the Mechanist. This is going to be my second build on the Mechanist. Last time I did a power build only to find out Power Mechanist, well, it sucks. It's cool for open world stuff because your mech can shred enemies very quickly. But in a lot of areas in the game, it's not really as effective as the condition variant of this build, which typically I don't enjoy condition like variants of builds in the game. I just don't really rock with them. I don't enjoy them at all. But this one in particular, I actually really enjoy because the ranged weapon is really good, and that being the pistol. Typically, I like running in open world content. At least I like running one melee and then one ranger, or not one ranger. God damn it! I'm still in the mindset. One ranged weapon. That's typically what I like doing. And rifle is fucking terrible. I hate rifle with a passion. So being able to run pistol and essentially just have the, well, I mean, I guess you could say the necromancer pistol is literally just the engineer pistol, which I mean it is. I mean, let's be real. It's literally. I'm not even joking. Look up the skills and everything and compare it to what these are. It's seriously just the same fucking pistol. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, besides the different condition effects and sounds or whatever, it's the same fucking thing. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, um, yeah, I don't know. That was something that really drew me to going towards it. But I found this build to be an insane amount of fun and very high damage and also very chill. A lot of the times when I see damage videos, they're rocking full infusions and they just had this ultra complicated rotation to really pump out the most amount of damage they possibly can. And it's just so goddamn complicated. This, on the other hand, isn't the 100% most optimal because I'm not running any kits, but it's so goddamn easy. It's literally probably the easiest build I've ever played in Guild Wars 2. Easier than Necromancer Reaper, like literally easier than anything I've ever played. It is so unbelievably simple and fun and just really relaxing to play. And that's why I thoroughly enjoy the Mechanist and having a blast with it. I'm a huge fan of pet classes in MMOs, so having something that's simple and fun and effective and also be a pet class is incredible. The Mechanist is a phenomenally designed spec. It's one of the most, in my opinion, one of the best design specs to ever be released in Guild Wars like 2 ever. Like it's seriously just so fucking phenomenal. And yeah, and the fact that this is effective with all signets is crazy. Like that, just saying that fucking makes my just mind blown. Because typically I only run like one or maybe two tops signets on my characters. I don't like running a whole lot because if you were to run a whole lot, it's completely pointless. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the gear. So like I said, this is the condition build. All Viper's gear with Elementalist runes. This is very typical of what you will see with literally any other fucking build for the Mechanist. It's insanely good, really strong. And so I'm kind of just using the tried and true sort of Viper gear here, as well as some Viper weapons here. So I got a mace here with Earth Sigil, and then I have a pistol and then an offhand pistol as well with that as well. Bursting on here, by the way, so bursting, and then we have Earth on the primary here. So the thing is with the Engineer is you can't weapon swap in combat. It's one of the two classes, or I guess three now since Bladesworn's a thing, that can't weapon swap in combat. So you're going to have to really decide what you want to choose before you go into combat. So a lot of the times I'll know if I want to be ranged or not. So I'll just whip out my pistol and I'll be good. But if I don't want to be ranged, and this is primarily just open world stuff, like some world bosses and stuff is really where the only time I'll ever be ranged. But most of the time I'll just be melee with the mace here, and it has some pretty cool synergy with our mech here as well. So yeah, that is everything that we're running here for the gear. For the build, it's a pretty stereotypical explosives, firearms, and mechanist build. It's basically what you would expect, except we're running J Drive. A lot of people love J Dynamo. Personally, I love J Drive. Both of these are phenomenal picks. You're going to be doing like 2,000, I believe, less damage, or maybe it's 1K on J Drive, but it makes it a lot more simple because your signets. This can effectively allow you to run full signets. Like it is possible with this. So yeah, and it's really good because it keeps your passive effects on while it's on cooldown. Activating this skill here, which does a lot. I mean, you can see that does a fucking shitload of condition damage, like around my mech. It's crazy. I'll also get that 12% more condition damage as well as my mech whenever this happens, which is amazing. So we have 2, 2, 2 here, and then we have 1, 2, and 3. Mechanist, we have 1, 1, and 3. I don't really think there's any variants here that I would run, in all honesty. These are very clear and defined for what their purpose is. But yeah, I also do have an Alack build as well. With some I think I just basically copied this from Snow Crows. I got like Diviners and Berserker gear, like a mix of them with Strength runes. I just kind of copied what it's either Snow Crows or Meta Battle had. I basically just copied their build. I only ever use this thing in strikes where people will need the alacrity from me. But yeah, I figured I would just show that off in case if you were wondering as well. But yeah, really simple build. We'll go ahead and get into it right now. Yeah, so as you can see, really cool detail about this, by the way, with the Mechanist, or the mech rather. And I didn't even know that the upper half of its body is on a 360 swivel. Okay, that's cool. One cool thing is this first straight line right here will actually, I wonder, did these switch it? No. It's these straights right here that will switch your arms on your mech. It's super cool. So whenever you come across someone who has a mech, you'll actually, if you memorize what these look like, you'll know what they're running for their build pretty much, right? So this is really good for like might around you. It's power based, and this is ranged, and then this is what I see most of the time, which is a melee condition sort of build. So yeah. Let's go ahead and actually get into the practicality of things, I guess. And I'll go over the signets real quick, actually. I forgot to do that. Why am I running rifle? Oh, I'm on the Alack one. That's my bad. I'm still on that one. So, for the skills, we have Rectifier Signet. So, as I said with J-Drive, you can activate the signets whenever you want for their respective uses, because the passive effects are still going to be granted whenever our signets are on cooldown. So yeah, you can heal yourself here for 6,500 and still be able to get that pulse healing. I like this because it's an okay heal. It's not insane. It is kind of like a typical heal, right? So this is like as much as like we heals 1 and stuff like that. It's just kind of like an okay heal, but it will also heal my mech, which is very important. Increased strike damage. I have this mainly for the active effect, where it's a knockback. But it is also nice doing a little more power damage. Just in this condition build, like it's nice doing a little more. But I really like it for that knockback that it does. I just think it's cool having like both of those sort of effects there. Shift Signet, this is great for just moving around and breaking stuns and a Condi clear. This is a ridiculously good Signet, by the way. This is absolutely incredible. So not only you'll get your movement and speed increased by 30%, as well as your mech movement speed increased, by the way, because you can tell here, movement speed increased. And this is the big one right here, is boons that you gain are copied to your mech. So a big problem I have with ranger pets is that they're like flanking the target, and I can't like move them. It's not my character. I can't like move them to a specific area. The boons just straight up won't go on the mech or the pet on the ranger, which is really annoying. Where on here, they'll just go to it. Like there's no like duration or anything like there is on like the nature magic trait. I think it's called Fortifying Bond. It's literally the full duration will go to your mech. It's crazy. It's absolutely amazing. I really hope they fix this shit, by the way, on the Lion's Arch Aerodrome, or Aerodome. Or Drome? Dome? I think it's Aerodome, yeah. Basically, they don't allow you to copy the boons to your mech, where if you were to play Ranger, you could copy the boons to your pet. It's really fucking annoying. I don't know why they don't have that. We have Superconducting Signet here. Increase condition damage by 12%, and I love activating this off cooldown for some insane AoE condition clear, or not condition clear, condition damage. It's crazy, man. It's so fucking much. And then we have the big boy Jade Buster Cannon. This thing is so much fucking fun. So it does reduce your recharge of the other signets, which is nice, but the big thing is that Jade Buster Cannon. So you want to make sure not to interrupt your mech whenever you're using it. So there's a few things that'll interrupt it. Using any of your pet skills, using your Rocket Fist prototype. I think even using this forcing it here will do it. But yeah, this is a really, really phenomenal one. Usually what I'll do is I'll hit the skills like while he's using it that I know that, you know, I'm not going to typically use. However, by the way, this is a really cool thing. Your active skill in the overclock segment here could also revive your mech, which is fantastic if it's not already, like, you know, if it's dead or whatever. It'll actually resummon your mech, which is really, really cool. So if you know you're going into a situation where your mech's going to be taking a lot of damage and, you know, dying, this is a great thing to just never use unless if your pet dies, and then you can resummon them. This is a very, very solid option as I'm talking to, man, I don't even know what percentage of the damage comes from my mech. I know it's a fucking massive percentage though. Like, it's a huge percentage comes from your mech. So it's very, very important to not have, or to have your mech out at all times as much as you possibly can. I mean, we call this away here and everything goes away. The J drive shade is pretty cool because it will, whenever it's away, it'll like support you with like a aerial bombardment, which is cool. Oh fuck! Oh god! Oh god! Oh, sorry, I sneezed. Yeah, but basically it'll like do like an aerial bombardment whenever it whenever it's away. I'm sorry. But yeah, and you can activate it and kaboom, it returns to you. So really, really cool. 90-second cooldown now, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I think that's basically covering it there for the skills. Let's go over some variations real quick. So barrier signet's really good if you're going to like a world boss or whatever, and it's like your damage doesn't really matter and you just want to survive more. I like this because 12% less damage is nice, and it's condition damage too, which is really, really cool. I don't like kits personally, so I never really run these for tagging. I think rocket turret's pretty fun, or rifle turret, one of those two, just for like tagging purposes. Like I said, I don't ever really run anything like that, any like kits or anything. I hate fucking kits, man. They're so annoying. That's like the biggest thing that kept me off of Engineer before, and why I loved Holosmith so much, is because it was so good without kits. But yeah, other than that, there's not really a lot of skills I actually use on here, to be real with you. Like, I kind of just keep it simple with the signets. So yeah, let's go ahead and just show this fucker off. So we're gonna get into combat now. Really, really cool thing, by the way. Your third mace auto attack is an explosion, which will actually trigger some of the traits here. So when you'll get Fury. You'll get some vulnerability, you'll get more ferocity, you'll get a chance to cripple and cause bleeding, which is a pretty good bleed there on a critical hit. So yeah, you can just see here, really cool attack animations. Our mech's attacking here too, already getting some conditions up just by auto attacking. So we have 3 skills here on the mech from our traits. So we have this one's really, really cool. So it's basically like a gap closer, 600 range. It'll just do a gap closer and do a lot of bleed damage. We have this one here, which will just basically do, kind of have your mech lay out this AoE that just applies a ton of conditions on a target. And we have this one here, which is a Defiance Break skill. It'll do a knockback, assuming that your mech lands on the target, basically, to knock it back. And it will do quite a bit of cleaving sort of damage and a bit of burning there as well, which is super, super useful. And yeah, those are our mech skills. They're on pretty long cooldown, so you don't have to worry about depressing them too often. I'd kind of use my Untamed tip, where you kind of, get some comfortable key bindings for them. So mine is like shift. I have like 3 buttons on my mouse, right? So I have like mouse 4, mouse 5, and then I also have mouse 3 for my middle mouse button. So what I'll do typically is I'll actually have it so shift mouse 4, shift mouse 5, and then shift mouse 3. That's what I have for my mech skills. So it's very, very comfortable and easy for me to reach, and just super comfortable. So yeah, as far as the mace skills go, I just use these off cooldown typically. And the cool thing about this is the Rocket Fist prototype, your mech will actually launch like his rocket fist at the target, which is really cool. The 4 on our pistol here it's fucking crazy. You want to be in like range, like in melee range basically at all times, but it just does a shitload of fucking burning damage. Like, it just does so much goddamn damage. I don't really use the glue shot very often. I only use it for CC damage. Now, it doesn't actually say that it will do Defiance bar damage, but Immobilize does do a little bit of Defiance damage. I think it's like 30 or something like that, or like 20. It's not very much, but it is a little bit. So yeah, I already talked about the signets, what to use off cooldown. I just use the superconducting usually, so we'll just kind of like show it off here. and just kind of show this in practical, you know, usage here. And it's very, very spammy. There's not really, I mean, I typically don't really like sort of use like a set rotation. I kind of just spam the buttons off cooldown. Ends up working pretty well for me. That's just how I play it personally. I usually am towards the top in DPS charts. In longer battles, of course, because this is a condition build. So you're not going to be, you know, your strength is in these longer term battles where you can really get a ton of conditions up on a target. There is an argument to be made, though, that, you know, power damage is definitely worse than condition damage, because that long term damage is what really damage. I think there definitely is an argument for that, but that's typically why you see a lot of people running condition stuff and high-end content. So yeah, that's literally the rotation. I'm not even joking. It's crazy, crazy good. It does a lot of damage and is very, very chill to play. Yeah, and like I said, the boons that you get will be copied on our mech. So we don't have shit for boon application right now. I would be doing a lot more damage if I had allies around me giving me boons, man. I'd be doing so much more. It'd be a crazy amount. So yeah. Just a cool little build here. Very, very fun, very effective, very simple and easy to play. And yeah, like I said, you're going to be doing a lot more damage if you have target or allies around you, giving you boons, you know, might and all that stuff. Because, you know, we don't exactly have strength runes or anything like that here to give us might. We don't really have any sort of might generation, but you should be fine. I mean, we're doing quite a bit of damage in solo play, so you can see all the conditions we have here. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, that's going to cover it. And peace.